Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome again to the Moroccan food culture, and today we are going to make something a bit festive and something that we can make as a little present for our loved one over the festive season, or we can just make them to enjoy them. Really simple recipe and really very really budget friendly as well. You can do it in so many ways, but I will show you the easiest way to do them. Okay, so what we need here, we need this just to give you a little overhead about this recipe. This recipe is something that the women in their houses, or the women, they use just to make but with what they have in the house, and that's why you might have seen it already. That's the oil. You will see the oil, vegetable oil involved, because that's what they have. And a lot of time they don't have butter and all the extras, so they just make something with flour and oil, and that's how this recipe, it's called Ghriba Behla, which is biscuits, crazy biscuits, which is because of that background of it. Easy recipe, and it's economically friendly, or budget friendly, I should say. Eventually, with the years, they start to add to it and start to become more like add sesame seeds and add some almonds and add a bit of butter. So this is just things that's been happening through the years. Okay, so what we need here, we need 250 grams of plain flour, 75 grams of butter, about 50 grams of sesame seeds. Please, just to mention that if you have any allergies, or any loved ones they have allergies, don't do it. Don't put the sesame seeds in. Just put something else. You can put some almonds, roast almonds, to give them that extra taste. Or if you don't like any of it, don't do without it. Just plain biscuits. That's what we are going to do. As we know, sesame seeds are really healthy seeds. They have a lot of goodness, but they do make some people ill, and some people they have severe allergies. So just be aware of that. Almonds, which is I roasted, or yeah, in the oven. Then I ground them, and as you can see here, that I a little bit I overdone them, but that just would give extra taste. If you don't know how to know sesame seeds are toasted, and you might think, oh, how do I know? Because they look so white, and when I do them, I might overdo them. You just want that goldy look, little bit goldy look of the sesame seeds. And you do find sometimes there are other kind of sesame seeds that they are in some places they are more like a very brown sesame seeds than you see. Obviously, the black sesame seeds, but we can use either the brown ones or these ones, and you can find them in the ethnic shops. But like I said, just make them a little bit goldish, and when you taste them, you can tell the difference between the non-roasted and the roasted, or toasted, I should say, sesame seeds, and that's how they look. If you can see a little bit gold in them. So what I do with them, because again it's something that I've become aware of when using the sesame seeds. Some people they don't like the fact that texture, and sometimes it makes a bit of uncomfortable on the tooth and all that. So just blend them a little bit, and that's how they become like this, just a bit. And if you like both ways, they would give the flavors, and these would give the texture. So I'm using either both of them today. cinnamon, um, cinnamon, or because it's Christmas, and if you like for example, the five-star, five spice taste, and with that cinnamon, nutmeg, and star anise, and all that, put a little bit of that in, and it won't harm, or just cinnamon by itself. So that's basically what's this. A pinch of salt, oil. Again, for with the oil, I have here about 150 ml, but I'm not going to just pour it straight away. I'm going to take my time and just see how the flour reacts to my mixture, because I don't want to overdo it. Baking powder, sugar, and I would say about again, the sugar depends on you. How do you like it? Do you like it a little sweet? Do you have a sweet tooth, or you want it less sweet? Better less sweet than over sweet. Okay, so you put I put there about 100 gram of sugar. That's what I will use. Okay, so basically they are my ingredients, and that's how I would do them. And it's once you have all the ingredients measured, you would just have to start adding things, and that's how that's what you will do. So, and to my, it's no eggs, nothing. It's just flour, butter, and these ingredients. And you start with the flour. It's the same as any shortbread. You take the dry ingredients, and you add the almonds. I would add the sesame seeds after that. Any questions, please get in touch with me if you when you get this, and just I let you know anything that you want to know. So please don't just send me a text on the video link. Okay, some sugar and a pinch of salt. Just tiny bit of salt, and some 5-star spices or cinnamon, whatever you prefer. And because it's Christmas, you try to put a little bit. And or shortbread with these 5 spices, or with the cinnamon and the nutmeg and all that, it just gives that lovely festive season taste, and the smell of the house would be really smelling really lovely. So mix everything really well. Like you might notice, I haven't I didn't add the baking powder yet. I'll leave it until later. So that's because we added the sesame seeds and the almonds and all that. It looks like the amounts of the dry ingredients increased. So that's something that you be aware. So these would make about 36 biscuits. Depends, if you want them big, they would make less. If you want them smaller, they would make more. Okay, so once we do that, we do have the butter at room temperature, which is something that you are used to if you're making shortbread at home. So we just put that butter in, then we start working it out with our finger, the same way you do when you do shortbread, like shortbread crust. So give it a good mix, and this is the bits that some people might find a bit hard. Just be aware, just slowly work it out, and just with the tips of your fingers, and that's really basically what you do. This is like you say. I know that when you do short cross, you need some cold fingers, but with this one, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't feel like that's way. You just want to work the butter in, so we cover all the. You just make it like sandy flour. If you have any children around, just get them to do this. They would love it. Christmas and the children making biscuits. Yeah, they really work it out really well. If this mixture is too much for you, you think, oh, I would have a lot of biscuits. Make it half. Just mix half and leave the other half in your freezer. Just put it in a bag, freezer bag, and put it in the freezer. Then another time when you want to make you want some biscuits, you'll find them already halfway there. So really, it's a straightforward recipe, and nice to have something different. And this is a humble recipe, humble biscuits. You see them, it's no cutters, nothing. You just use your hands. There is one thing that I will show you later. That's it's optional. It's not. It's that's we use for them. Um, but I'll share with you that. So it's really, that's it. So all crumbled, everything is gone in. The smell of everything is so lovely. It's a really nice smell. And this is before it's cooked. I might just add tiny bit of cinnamon, and because I didn't. It's nice, but I wanted a little extra smell, extra taste of that. You know, like the German, they have these biscuits short. Well, they have gingerbread biscuits, and they have these special spices that they use for them, and that they are really lovely. The smell, and that's how it smells here now. Just all them cinnamon and a bit of cloves, a bit of nutmeg. So then I'll add my one teaspoon of baking powder. It's a flatter one, and then mix again. So everything is mixed now. Doesn't take. So that's it. So once you do that, what you want to do is you add the oil now. Sometimes some people they do either use more butter than oil, or more oil than butter. And like I said, this is used to be all oil because it's just a budget recipe. That's the housewife they used to make. But with the butter, it does give a lovely taste. But I won't say use all butter, because, or if you do, you have to space them really well, because if you keep them closer to each other, they would all spread out. Okay, so and with the butter again, you just treat them like they have to be cold, like like the butter has to puts itself together, or the dough, I should say, before you cook them. So then just keep mixing, and kneading. Now you want to start to like give a bit of power, into the dough, and just keep mixing. And sometimes I use just that oil, other times I'll add some more because of it's just depending on the quality or of the quality of the flour. Some flour take more oil and more fat than others. And you can see I'll just start to use my hands really and work it out all. So you want some power, your grease, elbow grease here. And that's really, it's worked right. If by mistake you put too much oil, don't panic. Just add a bit of flour, just to make it this consistency. This is what you wanted. Like you see, you can shape it to little balls well. So just knead it really well. That's where the hard work with this may. Just give it a good workout. It's really quite satisfying. If you don't want to do it, or if you have problem with your wrists or something, I'll give you a little hint, a little tip for how to do it in just in a minute. So this is the traditional way. Just knead it again and again. But if you don't want to, you can't, or for some reason, what you can do is you take this friend of ours. This is the grater, just the kitchen grater, and what you do, you just put your dough all to one side and start like grating it like that, and that would help it to do the same effects as kneading it. Just work it out like that. You see what I mean? This is just for people that they can't use their hands really for something like this. Just really work it out through the grater. It's just like if you're grating cheese. You see? And the big, use the big side, the big hole side. And that would help you, and it would make it easier for you. This quantity, as I said, if it's too much for you, just half it. Instead of 250 grams of flour, just use 125. And by the time you add the almonds and the sesame seeds, you'll have a good quantity. So again, if you don't like any of the sesame seeds or almonds, don't use them. Straight to the sugar, butter, and the baking powder. These are all the options I'm giving you. So this is one way to knead it if you're happy to do it. Again, it's something with the grandchildren, with the little ones, the children or grandchildren. They love this. This is fun. A bit of that's it. So you keep repeating it again and again until it's really all. Just do it this way again. We'll do it one more time then. It's okay. And that's so yeah, it's a really a good way to to make it easier for ourselves. Really, that's what it is. And if you're having a some kind of day, just mix it and go. Use your elbow grease as well if you don't want to use the grater. So you have both options now. You know them both, and just try it. Okay, so what the texture I wanted is this. You see, I can shape them like this and they stay together. That's what I want to have. And you see them like really nice. Okay, so my next thing to tell you about or to show you is what are we using for, or what we usually use in an authentic way when we do them. So the baking tray. So traditionally the baking tray is this. Okay, so for these biscuits, when you bake them, you want them to have like little lines and little different, like all like popped up, like you can you might see them like I would say exploded, and you'll see little lines and all that. So somebody somewhere thought, oh, this is would help them to do that, because honestly, believe me, a lot of women they have no success with these, and they could be really hard to achieve that effect that they want to. So somebody came out with this tray, and basically it's like a Yorkshire pudding tray, but not too deep from there. You can use it for something else here. Anyway, so that's what they use, and what you do is you take the dough and if you don't, I'm not saying go and look for something like this, because this is something that's made made to measure for this in Morocco. So if you are in Morocco and you are really you want this kind of tree, you can look for it. But I'm not going to ask you to go and look for it just for these biscuits. So you just put them like that, like a little. That's how you put them. Just center them there, and that's how it is. But if you don't have one, just use the normal tray, like just grease-proof paper, and put them like that, one beside the other. Make sure you leave a good space so they don't stick together. Sometimes, like I said, with butter, it could happen. So just these little tips. Okay, so I'll just put these in like that, and just make them a little bit flatter, then stick them on. And I always make sure they are centered, so they don't tip on one side or something in the oven. Just make them a little bit. Yes, that's basically that's all our recipe is more or less done. So once you do all the balls and you put them on this tray or any tray, you can bake them then. So if once you watch this, just let me know how did you get on. Any photos, they are more than welcome. I love to see photos, from any recipes that you make from my recipes during this year. Just make it like something really fun, and if you have any photos, just share them with us. Please do that. Any recipe of the last this year's we're nearly there. We're nearly. It's a year that since I started with you, and since I started doing these recipes with the virtual village haul. So make it something different and put some photos for me. Please make it my present. I'm asking Santa. Thank you. Photos, please. Um, yeah, once they, you just make them like that. And like I said, make sure they are sitting nicely there so they don't tip or slide. Um, smell, they are really, honestly, with the spices and all that, and the almonds, that smell of them. And it's just to mention something I forgot to say. When you toast the almonds, just put a tiny bit of oil and put them in the oven. And just basically, if you're cooking something um, in the oven, you could do it at the same time, but not when the oven is very high. Just when it's cooled down or nearly finished, just put them in and toast them like that. Then get them out, leave them to cool down, then blend them in a blender, just to make them like lovely crunchy. So that's nearly there. Really, if you want to try something with them, and if you want to use the quotas, just do it, please do that, because that would be another way to make the shortbread as well, just like you are used to with any shortbread, and that would be nice as well with different recipe, but with the shapes and all that. As Christmas, it's nice. But this is just this is very authentic way of doing Moroccan shortbread, um, this way. So these finished now. It's like I said, it's so it's 20 here, 20 biscuits, and we might have another 10 or something. So I'll just stop there. So the temperature, while you're doing this, you need your oven to be to preheat the oven, and 160, 70, like that. Depends what kind of oven you have, and so you need your oven hot. The reason why to do it, you put them in, you see them like getting all like exploding. Then by that, once they are that, you put the oven down and leave them to cook slowly, 160 for 20 to 25 minutes. So that's how they look with this tray. If it's the normal tray, you would just I'll put the rest of them in the normal tray, so you can see it's the same, just so you see the space and then all that. It's a bit too big. For the size, it's up to you. I sometimes make like 20 grams, 16 to 20 grams each. So that's a good size. You see the distance between the two, just leave this here, so if when they spread, they do have space, so they don't stick to each other. And this it's about it's 30 exactly, more or less 34. So 35 biscuits for that quantity. That's one. This one is tiny one. Okay, so that's really our now they are all ready to go in the oven. um, I'm not going to wait for you for the oven and all that, but what I'll do is I will show you the end results, because I baked some that I made earlier. So let's just put this away. Surprisingly. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. Once you, so you can see how what I meant by having the little like lanes and all that. And when you look, if you use that kind of tray, that's how they look at the back. Oops. Just like really, and yeah, they are really cooked. And when you break one, it's got the crunch at the same time. It's all really nice and tasty. Okay, so that's our recipe for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me, and have a lovely festive season. Merry Christmas to all of you, and thank you for your support, everyone, and take care. Bye everyone. Happy holidays.